If you're new to Payhip, it is a mostly beginner friendly platform that allows you to sell courses, digital products, memberships, and physical products without needing your own website. In this tutorial, I will walk you through setting up your store and getting your products ready for customers.
Money, 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 all I see. Money, money, money.
All right, I did forget to mention at the beginning of the video that I would absolutely love for any of you watching this to visit my Payhip store. It would mean a lot to me if you downloaded my niche finder worksheet. It is completely, entirely, 100%, 100% free, gratis, okay? So please go check that out. It would mean so much to me. Anyways, moving on to the tutorial, what you came here for. Let's go ahead and get this started. So we have our standard basic sign up, right? First name, last name, email address, password, create your account. Then we move on to naming our store. Yes, it's very generic, I know, but that's how you all know me, is Mission More Money. And here we are. This is where it will take you after you get done creating your account. It takes a little while to load depending on how fast your internet is, if you got fiber, if you got coax, I don't know. But anyways, let's move on to adding our first product because that is what we really want to do. That is the goal for today. In my particular case, my product is digital, but as I mentioned at the beginning, there are other options for you to work with here on Payhip. So as you can see right there where that little green box is, I uploaded my digital product. That is my niche finder worksheet. It's completely free. Make sure you go download it. Then you want to give your product a title and then set the price. Did I mention that my product is free? It is a free download, so make sure you go check it out. Okay, anyways, I promise I'm not trying to be one of those annoying people. Forgive me if I don't walk through each part as slow as I used to. I realize that you are all very capable people and you don't need me to walk through these steps that are very straightforward, but I think that it's helpful for you to kind of see what I did, see how I describe the product. Of course, you will want to make sure that your product is visible if you want it to sell. And then here under advanced options, these options are specific to the type of product that you are selling. So make sure that you do look through these and that it's tailored to the product that you are going to have on your Payhip store. And then here it produces a link for you to use in your social media, whether that's Instagram or YouTube, or if you have a blog. And that way you have a link directly to your product. So it pops up just like this. It's always good to look at the preview of your product to see what your customers will see. And the little yellow box up there that says that I cannot receive payments, of course, that is going to be fixed right now. That's the next part of the tutorial. Here we go to PayPal and Stripe. There is one other platform that Payhip works with to take payments, and that is Square. You can use all three gateways if you really want to. You're not locked into picking just one, but there is an important detail. PayPal and Stripe work together as your core checkout. They share the same payout flow. However, Square runs on its own system, so you get paid instantly and in full. Payhip bills you separately for its fee at the end of the month. Heading over to billing and invoices, this is where you can pick your subscription. So I am on the free forever plan. No thank you monthly fees. Okay, so let's go to taxes next on our tab. Here, two things are already handled for you, EU and UK digital. And as of this month, as of July, US and Canada sales tax. Payhip collects and remits both automatically, no extra cost. For any other country, click Add Tax Rate, set your rate, name it, choose which products it applies to, and save. Payhip applies it at checkout based on customer location. I do recommend selecting the top box here to stamp the buyer's email on the top left of each page of your PDF for files below 250 megabytes. This, to be fair, isn't going to completely protect against piracy, but it does make it a little more challenging in the sense that it's not totally anonymous like it otherwise would be. So at least if it leaks online and you see your work somewhere, you will know who did it because their email will be there. Also on Payhip, the download limit, the default that they give you is 5. That matters because without a cap, one buyer could grab your file endlessly and hand out the link to anyone. A limit doesn't stop a determined leaker, but it can kill casual sharing at least. The next part of this tutorial that I'm going to walk you through is displaying your own questions having to do with privacy and terms of sale. This is a little preemptive and I will come back to it later in the tutorial, but I want to make sure that you can see how to add a question. And this is something that will be required for anyone who is trying to purchase or download your product to make sure that they agree with the terms of sale and the privacy policy. Once I move to store setup, I will make sure that you know how to create those 2 custom pages. Right now, just adding a message to anyone who buys our product. Now that account settings are complete, we can move on to setting up our store, making it a little bit more our own thing, right? That's what we want to do, have a little bit of our own personal touch. So let's get started here. We already have the product available. The next thing that we will be focusing on is the about me, changing the picture. Of course, I am not this man right here, if you didn't know. And so we will just be getting everything more personalized to make it our own store. Under the collection page tab is where we can modify and adjust. Now you see that it has my picture, which is the same one that I have for my YouTube channel. And then I can update the about me section. So this part is very straightforward and easy. I don't think I need to get too deep into it. Like I said, I know that you all are very smart and capable and you don't need a step-by-step tutorial like I have kind of done in the past. If you want to play with the color scheme, you can also do that here too. You can add your brand colors. At the very top, go to add a custom page, and this is where I'm now going to circle back to privacy policy and also terms of sale, which will be part of the required question at checkout. It's really important to have this part for your store. I am not a lawyer and I am not providing you with any legal advice, but I do recommend that you either talk to a lawyer or that you do some deep research on how your wording should be depending on the state that you live in or the country that you live in. It is important to have these pages here available for consumers to see and understand, especially the privacy policy. Remember that you are collecting sensitive information from your customers, emails, purchase info, location. So this is really a good idea. And in some cases, it is something that is required by law. Like I said, that depends where you live. But this is something important to have on your store. To finish this off, I will be also adding the custom page for terms of sale, and that will also go into the question or be part of the question here, which is required at checkout. So you add the privacy policy and the terms of sale, those link pages here. You want to make sure it's a required question. And that way, when the customer checks out, they can have a link right there easily accessible so that they can make sure that they have read the privacy policy, the terms of sale, that they agree, and that they are moving forward with the purchase. That is going to conclude this tutorial. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video.